Hey everyone, Jeanette here with Bikini Pro News. Today we're interviewing a girl who took a year off after winning her pro card, coming in this year to her first pro debut at Pittsburgh Pro, getting top 5. Then later on, going on with 2 other shows, placing top 2 back to back, getting her qualification for the Olympia for her first time, Darah Diaz. Hey!
Hello.
Welcome girl, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I am
I'm
doing
so
great.
excited.
Me too. Thank you so much for making time for the interview. I know your schedule is going crazy around this time, especially your first Olympia.
I know, but it's good. I'm happy. I wanted to do this, so gotta make it happen. Not I'd be napping right now, so it's completely
We can
fine.
make it happen. I'm so excited. So let's take it back a little bit for those who are getting to know your journey right now.
Okay.
So you got your pro card at the NPC Universe Championship in 2017. Tell us
Yes.
a little bit about your experience as an NPC and all the way to getting your pro card.
Okay. So, going into NPC Universe, I did a prep in January, and I would say my prep going into the shows were probably the same going into a pro show and going in to get my pro card, but just something was a little different, like internally going to get like to my pro debut. I don't know what it was. I know like it's just as exciting because you have to get your pro card first, obviously, to get to your pro
Of
debut.
course.
So I was very excited for my pro card, but I don't know. It was just a completely different level. And I think what happened was because before going into NPC Universe, I actually did nationals in Miami 2016. So I never really had an off season because I competed in November.
And then
December
back to
was my
back.
off season. And then January is when I started. But then this time, after I got my pro card, then I had all these months until January again to start my prep. So I was really able to focus on like my dieting more to make sure that this prep went smoothly. And I'm very, very happy that I did that going into my pro debut. It made it so much easier. I was allowed to eat a lot more food than I was.
How exciting.
And I was just a lot more eager going into it because it was just like, now is my chance to show everyone that I worked hard for. Like, I was more like burnt out by the time I got to Universe, and then going into my pro debut was like nice and fresh.
No, I know. I mean, the NPC, when you got your pro card, was like first place, so that's beautiful. All the
Yes.
hard work paid off, so how exciting. And then you took a year off before your pro debut, right? How did that go for you? How was it? Was it like, because a lot of girls normally I've seen that they get their pro card and then they go straight to their pro debut. So what
Right.
made you take that time off, like that whole year off?
Okay, so in my opinion, I think that you should take an off season,
I
but it
agree.
also depends how long you did a prep for. If someone's just prepping like about 6 to 8 weeks and their body can do that, and they want to jump into a pro show, by all means, like anyone can do what they want. But I knew that where my physique was, I was not ready to jump right into a show. And again, like I said, I was very burnt, so like I didn't want to jump right into it. I wanted to make a statement. So I didn't want it to feel like, okay, yeah, I got competing and prepping to get my pro card, and then bam,
Pro
like I'm
debut.
going on a pro stage. I wanted a whole new experience of something to look forward to because what I would have had 2 or 4 weeks before my next show, and it wouldn't feel like a prep for my pro debut. I wanted to feel completely different, and I'm really happy that I did that because I was able to focus more on the improvements that I needed to make, so I would be able to stand next to, you know, top pros and Olympians.
And you did it because look, everything paid off. So the whole
Yes.
year, because a lot of people, I believe that we want to rush it because we're so, excited to
Yeah,
get
of
on stage. But
course.
we sometimes need that time off. So I'm glad that you realized
Yeah,
it and you took it
me
and
as
look at
well.
you now.
Yeah, and I've asked a lot of like my friends as well too, and just other competitors, and I asked them, and it was not an offense. I just wanted to know like what made you
Of
decide
course.
that you want to jump right into a pro show, and they're like, I just want to see where I stand against the pros, which is awesome because now you know, okay, I'm next to veterans. I need to know what I need to improve on, and then by next year when I come back, I will have those improvements. So I see both sides, but I already knew as a competitor like who I had to look at the top 5 from the Olympia, and I said like if I want myself there, I need to match myself to them.
There
So
you
I
go.
looked up. I said, all right, I know I need to work on my glutes a little bit more. I need to make my skin a little bit more thinner, a little bit more conditioned. But it all worked out. So I'm happier that I did it that way, because I wouldn't have been able to do that just jumping into a pro show.
No, no, of course. And like you said, everybody has their own mindset about
Exactly.
when they're going to do their pro debut. But your decision was amazing. And like I said, it pays off because, again, you're qualified for the Olympia. So that's beautiful. So you came to your pro debut and it was Pittsburgh Pro, one of the biggest shows. And you came in 5th place. So how did it feel when they called your name for that 5th place?
So I was on a high when I came off stage for prejudging, because I just remember I just started crying because I was just so happy to be there. And to be in the first call out was just exciting enough, but there were 6 of us. So I knew from where I was standing, they did a confirmation round, but they did the top 4. And I was not in that. So I knew I was either getting 5th or 6th, because there was the first call out was 6th place. And I remember I was watching a video and they called my name, and it took about like 5 seconds for me to start like walking, but like 5 seconds doesn't seem like a lot, but they're like, Darah Diaz, and I was like, oh, that's me. I was so happy. But Ashley Nicastro was actually who came in 6th place, and she has a beautiful physique too, so I wouldn't obviously have been mad if she got in 5th, but it was a close call. It wasn't like someone that was in like the 6th place spot, and I was just like, I know that I have this. It was very close, and I was just like,
wow,
blessed that I was like that my name was called for the 5th place.
No, I bet. Wow. And that was a big show too, so.
Yes, it was very big. But I wanted to do East Coast show, because obviously that's where I'm from. So I was like, you know what? I want to go for that, because at first I was going to do just New York as my pro debut. But since I knew that now that the point system came and it started this year, I was like, I needed somewhere for the points to come. So actually, New York was the only thing in mind. And then I said, you know what, I'm pulling it 2 weeks closer, and I'm going to go do Pittsburgh Pro. And
awesome.
How that one became my pro debut.
And well, it worked out great, because then you did New York Pro, you came in 2nd place. So another big show. So wow, congratulations on those 2. And then following with Toronto to 2nd place.
Yes.
So you did really big shows with beautiful girls in the lineup, and you nailed the top like first call out. So that's beautiful. And you got your qualification for Olympia. So how did it feel when you found out you were going to the Olympia this year?
Okay, so I like, this is like very serious. I have on my Safari on my phone, I have 4 websites pulled up, and every single weekend I would recheck the list just to check on my name. And I would notice, I'm like, yeah, I would always check. I'd be like, all right, because on one of the websites, ifbbpro.com, the name is red, which means that they just competed. And I would always have to see, because if I was in the ranking and I was like around like 15, I knew that I would have to jump in again. But where I was at number 7, I was like, all right, I'm in a safe zone, but it all depends on who's coming into the show and like what place that they get and how many more shows they're going to do until Tampa, because Tampa's the cutoff. So I looked every single weekend, and right after Toronto is when I was like, okay, I'm not going to do any more shows. I was planning on doing Chicago and Tampa if I had to put myself on stage. But when we got closer to Chicago, I noticed that I didn't have to be on the list. I actually got really sick going into Chicago, so it was kind of like just a blessing in disguise. Like, I already knew that I didn't need to go there. And then right after Tampa, soon as they called the awards, I looked at my boyfriend and I'm like, I'm going to the Olympia.
Oh my God.
Like I'm going to this is amazing, because like I moved down just a little bit because there was girls who were right underneath me
that go up
again and got more points. But I was just like, oh my God, I made it. And I remember that weekend, I was just like, I was more like nervous. Like there was something like off. I didn't know what it was. Maybe because I wasn't just like in my element of being home and having my normal routine. And as soon as I came home, I was like, let's go. Like, it's game time. And I was just so excited because I was already like in prep, because I never got out of it, because I knew like if I have to jump into a show,
you need to be ready.
Exactly. And then from there, I was just like on a high.
God, how beautiful. I can imagine. I was like, whoa. And especially being your first year as a pro.
Yes.
You know, many people, it takes years. So that's
Yes.
beautiful. So then after Toronto, you decided you're going to take, you're going to prep for the Olympia. So you weren't going to do any more shows, correct?
Right. So, actually, that week before, between New York Pro and Toronto was my birthday and my graduation party. And my parents, they were like banking like after New York, that was it, and then we can celebrate. And then I was like, hey,
One
crazy,
more.
you guys are going to Toronto. I got one more. So the day that I came back from Toronto, which was Sunday morning at 8 o'clock, my family had a party for me. And then after that, it was just like, all right, like you can go on like a little mini off season for about 3 to 4 weeks. And then I was talking to a few people. They're like, maybe you should go on stage again. So I was thinking about it. And honestly, that was probably like my worst decision because I rebounded very bad. And I don't know like what that's where I got really sick. And I don't know. I probably should have just said stick with a nice reverse instead of being like, boom, here I'm doing everything that I was doing. I stopped immediately right after Toronto, and I shouldn't have done that. Like I should have went back to the gym. I should have went to cardio. I should have done my reverse, but I was just at a high, and like my family was celebrating that I was just like, woo, and then it just like went to the worst, and then like my body was just really, really, really badly fighting me. So then I was like, you know what, just for the sake of myself, so it would be easier going to the Olympia. And then about a week later is when people were talking to me about doing Chicago. I tried getting back into it, and that's where my body was like tugging at me when I was trying to do like everything back like in a normal prep.
Yeah, but especially all your emotions and going from show to show, because you competed back to back at 3 shows, and then of course you wanted to celebrate with the family. Your body was just going crazy at that time. Is your body working now as it should be? Prepping for the Olympia?
Yep, I got all my blood work done. Everything came out great. Actually, I went on like a little like detox just to make sure that my body wasn't like fighting me. Like I gave it the carbs that it needed just in case if like we did the kind of like the opposite. Like you think that someone would like eat less and like do more cardio because you want to get it off faster, but we were giving my body what we thought it may need, like more fats, more carbs, and less protein.
Awesome.
So we did that for about like a week or two, and then right after that is when like my body started responding better, because it was just like I was giving it the foods because I was eating like, you know, family food for the parties and stuff like that, but that's not what it needed. It needed like real food.
Yeah, and then you're like, I need to stop and focus on the Olympia now.
Exactly.
But you needed that break too, believe it or not, you know. Probably it wasn't as you thought it was gonna, you know, your body was gonna respond, but we all need that little break.
Of course, yeah. I've been prepping since January 2nd. So to my pro debut in Pittsburgh, it was 18 weeks, and Toronto put me to 22 weeks in prep.
Nice.
So for me, where I only have to lose about 15 pounds, it was long, but I wanted to start earlier because I wanted it to be easy. And I don't want that that word to be taken like lightly, because I don't want an easy prep, because I want it to be like challenging.
Of course.
But it was also like easy in the sense that like I was only doing 30 minutes of cardio, and I was eating carbs in every single one of my meals.
Yeah, not like 2 hours or 3 hours.
Exactly. Right. And my body got ready at the 7-week mark is where I hit stage weight. Nice. I actually got 2 months early. I was ready for stage, and I was thinking about throwing myself on a stage sooner. But then I was like, no, I want Pittsburgh to be my thing.
And everything happened how it should have, you know?
Yes.
Probably if you would have done another show, you would have done great, but not as good as you did. So, and then, like I said, and it's the top 2 big shows too, Pittsburgh and New York Pro. Yeah. That's huge. That's really good. I know. So let's say that you're in that first call out of the Olympia this year. I know. What are your thoughts about it? Like, just, I know everybody wants to get that title, but just that feeling.
Everyone, of course, is going there because they want the title, 100%. I am just blessed to be there. Like, where I got to be is something that I've dreamed of and people have dreamed of. You know what I'm saying? And of course, top 5 is the absolute goal, especially for my first year. But when I looked at that list, I was like, I can name 20 girls that can be in the top 5. Like, there was amazing, amazing, amazing competitors that are going to be at this one. So I'm not scared. I'm obviously hoping and pushing for the best,
Of
because
course.
not only is it amazing for me personally, but just for people to see that, like, someone in their rookie year had made it in the top 5. But it's what I've always dreamed of. And, like, even, like, friends are telling me, like, you're going to be in the top 5. I'm like, I never want to get my hopes up.
Of course.
But I have to go in there saying that I'm the best. Even if there's someone better, I have to tell myself that, because I can't look at someone else. And I'm not like that. I'm not the type of person that I look at someone and I'm like, ooh, they look better than me right now or whatever. Like, my body will come into play when it's ready. But I just know that, like, even getting top 10 is still amazing, because I believe top 10 still gets to do their routine at finals, and then the rest just get, like, their name announced. So even just being in the top 10, but, like, no matter what the outcome is, like, I'm just happy to say that I'm, like, a 2018 Olympian, and I got there like as my first year being a pro. But obviously, like, being top 5 is like, oh, like a dream.
Of course, and that's what you have to aim for, you know?
Yes.
Like, that's a good thing that you're being realistic in the sense of, I'm competing against beautiful girls. It's a very tough lineup this year. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen on that stage. Honestly, there's a couple of new pros. There's the new comeback of Ashley, and there's so many. Like, Angelica's looking amazing too. So it's just really hard. You know, everybody's coming in their best condition. So I'm pretty excited for this year. And do you have any plans whatsoever after the Olympia? Like, doing any other show?
I was thinking about doing, like, the Asia Grand Prix.
Okay.
And then I looked at my bank account and I said, I can't do that. Unfortunately, that's literally the only reason why, because I think it's only like 2 weeks later, and I could push myself for 2 weeks more.
Yeah.
Usually I actually look better the more I compete, just because my body just keeps getting tighter and tighter. But, like, my body was already giving me a sign right after Toronto, and I never actually gave it the true break that it needed. And I would absolutely love to be at the Arnold for 2019.
Of course.
So the sooner that I get into my off season, the better for myself and, like, the package that I would bring there. So even though I would want to do another show, and there's plenty of shows, there's great shows that are in the fall, I'd rather be in my off season. So by the time that it gets to January, I can be in my prep again.
Oh, and that's a really good idea, because the Arno will be another biggest show that you can compete at. So
no,
that's really exciting, girl. I'm so excited for you. You have no idea.
Thank you.
Basically, that wraps up the interview today. But if you have anything you want to say to any of your fans, your followers out there, now is the time.
So I have to thank everyone, and I feel like that sounds very, like, cliche, but, you know, I could not be here without, like, everyone, like, my family, my friends, like, everyone at the gym. Like, the energy that I'm getting off of everyone and the push, like, that's what I need, because we're all human. There's going to be low days. I don't care what anyone says.
Of course.
As competitors, we have low days, and for someone to just, like, hey, like, nudge me, like, on the side and be like, hey, you got this. Like, that's what I love. And, like, I'm doing this for everyone, and I'm doing this for myself, because it's just something that I've always, like, always wanted, and I've dreamed of since I first started. And when at Atlantic States 2015, I've always said, like, I'm going to be on that stage one day.
And there you go.
And, like, again, like, yes, I may be the one putting in the work. I'm the one that's going on the Stairmaster. I'm the one that's putting the right foods, like, in my body. But the, like, support and love that I'm getting from everyone, it's putting me on cloud 99, not even 9. We're going to 99.
That's
like,
beautiful.
I couldn't have done that, like, without everyone there. And support is a huge thing. Like, without support, like, you're really
hard.
not full. Yeah. So just everyone, like, there's not, like, one single person, like, you know, that I wouldn't thank. Like, everyone in any way, even if they do it indirectly, I thank them.
And that's going to take you very far, honestly, Darah. So we are very happy to have had you in the interview today. Again, thank you so much you're almost there, so keep doing what you're
Yes.
doing. And again, thank you for all the support. We couldn't do any of this without you girls. So
Thank you so much.
you're
I can't
welcome.
wait to see you.
Me too. We'll wish you the
Can't wait.
best on the road
Thank
to
you
the
so much.
Olympia.
Yeah.